Hello, hello. This is Samara, your feminist alchemist. Aquarius North Node. This is your reading for the April 30th new moon up until just before the new moon in May, so until May 29th. It is a general reading, so the messages may not resonate with everybody. Just take what strikes a chord with you and let the rest float away on a cloud of fairy dust to who else in your North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. If you're feeling this reading, you can give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I upload. This is a North Node reading, everybody, so it's not meant for any other major placement. That is a guideline given to me by my guides. So if you are here for your sun, moon, or rising, or Venus sign, this is not the place. If you're not sure what your North Node sign is, you can check my website where there's a North Node chart, or you can run your birth chart. Both of those links are in the description box below. The North Node is a mathematical point that signifies your source of soul expansion in this lifetime, what your soul would like to experience for its fulfillment. And I do have a video that goes more in depth as to how my guides describe the significance of the North Node to me. That is linked in the description box, as well as a link to a video where you can learn much more in detail about the Aquarius North Node placement. My favorite source for that information is Astro Finesse, and I've linked that in the description box as well. So let's get started. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I go through a few rounds here. It takes about an hour. And we go universal energy and a 5D energy. Then we check out your 3D practical situation. We check how to bridge your practical challenges or situations in life into make the most of those growth opportunities. And then in this reading, I'm going to talk a little bit about your soul's purpose. I'm going to pull 4 cards at the end to discuss your soul's purpose, and then I'll pull some final oracles. And that is how it goes. I'm going to start the reading with Return of Spirit by Cheryl Lee Harnish. And when I sat down with my guides to decide which decks to use, when I set the space, and we talk about, they decide, or we decide together which crystals to use and which decks to use, or which crystals will be around me and which decks to use. And it was a nice energy that they decided to kind of latch onto or give momentum to in this reading. And returning to our authentic self, returning to our center, the inward journey seems to be the focus of these North Node readings for the month of May, or for everybody for the month of May. And the Taurus new moon eclipse is all about financial reset and abundance. So there's a lot on offer for us right now. I love how you got these 2 cards that are very gold. I feel like there's another one coming out though. Yeah, there is. Okay. I really love this already for you. So the energy, these are your universal energies, so to speak. So they are like the higher frequency vibrations that are, that your spirit team would like you to kind of tap into. More than kind of, they would like you to tap into, or they're bringing forward for your benefit at this time. As all energies are always available to us, but of course there are certain times when ones are stronger than others, or our spirit team would like us to shift our attention to that particular area of life. or area of existence. So the violet flame, there's a strong impetus for, they like the word impetus this month, a strong impetus for transmutation. So you have the chance to really throw into the fire anything that's not serving you well. And that doesn't mean that you have to have an idea exactly of how you're going to replace that. But if you know that there's something that you're not, like, that you just don't like dealing with, types of situations, types of relationships, or you're tired of being frustrated with certain aspects of your life, you're tired of constantly, they're giving me the image of like someone looking at themselves in the mirror and wishing that they could be the type of person that loves themselves, loves the way they look no matter what, but that doesn't seem to come. And they're like, okay, you may not be able to really see for yourself the ability to look at yourself and only see yourself through the eyes of love. However, just knowing that you don't want to be always critical of yourself is something you can throw into the violet flame and allow your team and the divine to transmute for you, to guide the way. And they want you to know that you are worthy. So the universe is also showing you that you are worthy of all of the things that you wish you could have or wish you could be, with the reminder that what you are right now is not unworthy. You don't have to work at being worthy. You are continuously worthy. It's about connecting to the fact that you are and always have been and always will be, because that in itself, knowing that we are worthy of certain things, also makes us show up differently in the world. Recognition and music. Aquarius North Node. So it's really looking like, I'm looking at the two colors, the amount of gold here. I have to pick it up again. I'm looking at the golds here, and I feel like you're going to find a lot of love. There's a lot of love coming towards you, in the form of being seen. And it may come from places that you least expect it. Music has two connotations. It's either you're going to be very comforted by music. You'll hear a lot of synchronicities and a lot of advice from your spirit team in music. Like there'll be an angelic presence in every song that you listen to, and that you connect with. It will be meant for you to hear. So you can find a lot of solace and soothing and advice in music. You may make music and start to get recognized for music. Well, they're saying some of you may be recognized for the harmony you create. So music is also figurative in that you create harmonious situations, kind of unknowingly, it seems. And then prayers. Your manifestation power this month is really going to be in, they're connecting the music to the prayers. So if you sing gospel, for example, if you like gospel music, if you like music with, positive, striving for something type of lyrics or affirming lyrics, you may even find affirmations that are set to music. That is all going to work very much in your favor if you can implement that in your life on a regular basis, on a daily basis. They're saying that's really going to have an effect for you in the month of May. I'm just going to say the month of May, even though we're starting April 30th, because this moon cycle covers the month of May at the moment. So I'm going to get your 5D/higher self cards here. These are the areas that your higher self is beckoning to you to look at in order for your soul's expansion at this time. And I am shuffling here 2 decks that I combined into one. It's the Sacred Activations Oracle and Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle and the Sacred Geometry of Relationships. They're both by Lon. If at any time you need to fast forward, you are more than welcome. I feel like there's another card in here. Okay. And they're showing me that this last card, I'll go through all of them, but this last card, okay, I'll talk about that after. As long as I don't forget to say something about that. So we have number 25, integrity. Number 21, freedom. Number 2, the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. Number 27, intuition. Number 15, compassion. Number 19, delight. And then master number 33, reflection, which I was saying, the gold light, they say, is the light of the Yeshua, or you can call him Jesus, or the Christ light is a golden light. So the 33 master number is a confirmation that there's a significance to these cards being gold for you. All right, so I start from this corner here. With the integrity card, it feels like there has been things going on in your life that are it's you accepting things that are not worthy of you. So downplaying yourself in this one. And it may be that there's a push-pull I find in the people I know who are Aquarius North Nodes. There's a push-pull between the Leo aspect and the Aquarius aspect. And actually, I find it on both sides. I don't know, by this particular North Node, South Node, or this particular polarity of astrological signs, why there's such tension between the two. And I feel like it's because in society as a whole, we're still grasping this shining in your power, yet being a part of a bigger picture collective. Because the Aquarius is the humanitarian, is the community-minded, and would also self-sacrifice for the community. So, and they identify themselves through their role in the community. Leos are stand up, stand out, and lead ferociously, going after what they want and not letting anyone get in their way. So I feel in this constellation, though, there has been a tension between your individuality and you getting along in group situations. And I feel in this spread that there is like some of those restrictions some of the restrictions that you feel are limiting what you're able to do in the world is simply because you're not pushing that boundary. So you're not necessarily telling people, this is how it's going to be. And if not, then we're not able to be friends, or we're not going to work together. So there's some issues where you seem to need to have to put your foot down. And the reason why you're they're saying the reason why your external world does not look exactly the way you want it to, some of it is totally within your power to change, and it's you putting boundaries, like not putting up with ish that you're not worthy of, not putting up with people who belittle or talk down to you, not putting up with situations where your talents go unrecognized, unrecognized or undervalued. And I feel that some of you are outright like being used for your second chakra, for your strong creativity, for your strong creative power. Now, this could be actually a creative field, or it can just be that, that motivation, you have energy, you are able to see projects through to the end. And even if you don't recognize it in yourself, so there's a couple of you who it's like people are using you and you don't, and you know that you're getting the short end of the stick, but the reason why it's easy for people to use you is because you don't feel like what you have to offer is worthy or is that awesome. But other people recognize how awesome it is and take advantage of the fact that you don't see how awesome it is. And that's how you end up getting the short end of the stick, or having your talents used and abused, right? And comes a point where if you're giving and not enjoying the giving, that you need to stop or put a limit on how much you're willing to give. And because I have this is intuition, it's giving me third eye, but my first instinct was actually the throat chakra and the third eye chakra. The second chakra and the third eye chakra are kind of correspondences. Because they're both an expression of intuition in a way. Third eye from the higher realms, from the heavens, from the and the second chakra, your gut instinct, with your earthbound physical manifestation of that intuition. And they want you to start paying better attention to your intuition, because it's guiding you and also kind of warning you about certain things. And your manifestation powers is the conversation between your third eye and your sacral chakra. And you can best mobilize that magic through prayers, affirmations, and words. So, which is why I'm getting throat chakra in there as well. Okay. Hopefully we'll get more clarification on that. I don't want to go too deep down that rabbit hole because we have a few more to look at. Compassion, delight, and reflection. There's a theme this month as well in all the readings I've done so far, that really, instead of blaming the people who are overstepping your boundaries, who are causing all of this muck to arise in you, all of these discomforts and disappointments, look at it as what that means for what's going on in their internal landscape. Like, if they feel that they need to steal your creativity, it means that they don't think that their creativity is good enough, right? So if people are leaning on you, using your talents for their benefit, that also says a lot about what they feel or think of their own talents. And this is where we give people back their humanity without needing to, say, oh, it's okay that you were a jerk and you stole my idea, or, oh, it's okay that you let me do all the work and you took all the credit. That's not the case, but it's about reducing your propensity to judge and put labels on another, because what you do to the other is what happens to yourself. So it's like you need to show compassion to that person in your mind. You don't have to go and be their friend, but you take a different, you recognize their feelings of unworthiness in themselves, and therefore can release yourself from carrying that burden of anger around. And this is where it comes in the reflection, because it's that reflection will be a big part of your growth. And can you get back to doing the things that you love to do, or these things that you do, and be delighted, be happy, be fulfilled? I have a feeling that some of you have kind of lost your gusto, because I'm hearing like it was thankless. It feels like the work is thankless, or really like you've been screwed over somehow, passed over for a promotion, not recognized. And they want you to keep doing what makes you happy, regardless of what, if anyone ever recognizes it, at least recognizes it in the way that you feel that it should be recognized. At least so this is just for the month of May. Let's see what happens after May. But right now, what's important for you is to do what you love because you love doing it. And what you don't love doing, you stop doing. Because you have to have integrity. It's your soul's integrity, basically, right? And every time you deny something that is natural and beautiful from your soul, you say that there's something like that maybe it's not that special, right? I'm checking out what's going on in your 3D environment. This is your physical, tangible reality. And I'm using the Star Child Tarot by Danielle Noel. Just the major arcana to see what major themes are occurring in May that are opportunities for your soul's expansion. Ooh, okay, how do you want this to go? Oops, sorry, guys. A bunch of cards came out. I'm just asking what is the... Okay, so these definitely go here. And these go here. Okay. Let me just get all the cards and then I'll go through what we need to go through here. Okay. Starseed, which is the Fool card, in this deck is called Starseed, and the Lovers is in your first position here. Then we have the Empress and Akashic Records. Akashic Records is a bonus card, it's card 22 in this deck. And then we have the Universe, which is the World card, card 21, and Justice, which is card 8 in this deck. So, Starseed and the Lovers. Oh, you have the freedom to be whatever you want, and you seem to be awakening to some gifts. You are recognizing in yourself the amount of gifts that you have, and it may be shocking to you. It may. And I'm getting the Lovers as reconciling two sides of yourself. I'm looking to see if I see or feel something about an actual partnership in life. And that there may be something to learn within a partnership about the two sides of yourself, but I'm seeing the Lovers as allowing the two sides of yourself to come together, you feeling like there are two polar opposite sides to yourself, dark and light, male, female. One side you're very vulnerable, and the other side you're very aggressive or assertive, put it that way. And you may end up facing, now this is not like the Devil card, so it doesn't feel like facing your shadow as much as it feels like facing the personality that you've created for yourself. This is what the Lovers is feeling like. So you're facing the Starseed is like this part of yourself that has awoken, and now that part of yourself that has awoken was always there. Remember, we're in this stage of remembering who we are and reconnecting with who you are. And this person that has awoken needs to meet the person that you've created and have a discussion about what has been built on integrity and what has been built like on a house of cards, for things that are not in alignment with your soul's vibration, and also accepting the freedom that you have to throw that into the violet flame. So you may find yourself, they're telling me you may find yourself in situations where you would have, your knee-jerk reaction doesn't vibe with you anymore. Like you see yourself, you call yourself out on certain behaviors and reactions because it doesn't resonate with you anymore. And it may happen it happens almost without you knowing. It's probably happening already. But there will come a point where you're like, who am I? Or why do I do that? Which is good, because once you recognize it, you'll be able to get rid of it if it's not what you want to be. So, they're saying that situations are also going to come up where you have a mirror where people reflect to you the feelings that you have about yourself. So you will see a lot of those lessons through your encounters with other people. In the Empress and the Akashic Records, I see a person see a person that you've had a past life relationship with come into your life. This could be a friend. It could be just a colleague. It could just be a passing encounter. I see someone swoop into your life through this portal here, and it's like they were actually contracted to come into your life at this time to give you to help you remember. Let's say if it's the Empress, it's a feminine energy. That doesn't mean that they're female, but someone who is very intuitive, likely quite creative. And they're showing me someone, they're giving me the feeling of someone who just has a way about them. They have a light about them. And the light is fueled by this unwavering confidence in themselves. And it has nothing to do with arrogance or being the loudest person in the room. They're very comfortable in themselves. And it's because they know exactly what they're here to do. And that encounter will be sent so that you begin to recognize yourself. The more and more I get to this corner, it's leaving the realm of receiving recognition from the outside and more about recognizing your own value. And sometimes we need it on the external, for, knocking at the door saying, hey, do you know you're awesome? Do you know you're special? We need someone to randomly say that to us or randomly pop in and out of our lives to give us a message, right? So you will have a guide that has been with you for a long time, and or someone show up in human form that you have a past life connection to that is going to awaken something in you in the month of May. So you may want to keep your eye open for that. The universe. So once that happens, once you recognize your divinity and your innate lovableness, you don't have to do anything or be anything in particular to be lovable. This is one of the messages that is coming through strongly for every sign at this point in time. The universe card is saying that, yeah, it's time for you to step into a role. And for that to be, you're going to be stepping into a more full manifestation of yourself. And part of what's going to be awesome about that with this Justice card on the end is if and when you let go of some of the crap that people put you through, and decide like, I'm not going to feed that energetically anymore. I'm going to let that be worked out beyond the 3D. It will get worked out beyond the 3D and come back to you in the form of you getting, well, now they're saying they don't want you to move forward thinking like, okay, I'm going to get the last laugh here. But there will be a situation or two where they're saying it's not going to be every situation, and it may not be the one person or situation where you think, yeah, I'd really like to, it all to turn around and me to be able to say, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. So, Yeah, it's not going to be every situation and not necessarily the situation that you think you most likely want your just desserts or your revenge in. Let's call it revenge for lack of a better word, but that's the energy that they're giving me. That you have some experiences where you still kind of imagine your revenge. However, there are going to be smaller situations or certain situations that will work out in that way where that person has to pay for their wrongdoings directly or indirectly, and it will be a signal to you that, you know, the universe is about balance, and those that knowingly are throwing it out of balance because they want to reap more rewards than the next person are starting to get, the balance. Like the universe is rebalancing it where it's not in their favor, right? Because it can't be, because they disturbed the peace, right? So, and sometimes we see that in shorter timelines, and sometimes it's a huge picture, and we have no concept of being able to, like, we're not able to see that whole picture. But they're saying that balance, the universe is always balancing itself. So whether or not you see it and are aware of it, all of those things are always balanced out. So you don't have to knowingly, or you should not, for your own benefit, really, you should not put any energy into holding something against somebody, holding grudges, being resentful, things like that. Because they're saying that some of it is toxifying the way that you create, your reality, and that is unfortunate because you have a really beautiful reality available to you. Well, you have everything available to you, but there's so many things waiting for you. But if you're stuck in wanting to get back at somebody, then that's not going to work in your favor. Your energy is going into the wrong place. And that's why the prayers, affirmations, song lyrics, all of that is so important to bring you back into a conscious creation. So I'm shuffling now the Wild Unknown Tarot. And these are tips and actions for how you can move forward, Aquarius North Node, to turn these situations into opportunities, or make the best of these opportunities for soul expansion. That's how I'll put it. So you have the Hanged Man in reverse, the Star, the Magician in reverse, and the Tower. Oh, okay. So everything that you need to know is already within you. That's what I'm getting from the Hanged Man. Everything you need to know is already within you. And everything that you need to succeed is also already within you. So trusting yourself as your own authority is important for you in the month of May. And trusting your soul's input. I'm getting that you may not be spending enough time on your own. Some of you are already in a good spiritual practice, I'm feeling, but and they want me to clarify that a spiritual practice or practice of being alone does not have to be, sitting on the floor and meditating. You can go for a walk in nature. You can sit in a quiet place outside. Some people jog and they clear their mind through physical activity. So let's expand the realm of possibility, a realm of activities that fit into, meditative and being with yourself. Everything that you need to know, your soul is sitting there ready to tell you. What it wants to tell you is that you have a lot of gifts to give to the world. It is your time to give them. You have time. It is your time to shine. It is, they just said it's your time to shine. So focus your energies on shining and not on the sword here, not on this justice, not on dispensing justice. That is not up to you. You can ask, of course. There's nothing that you cannot ask of the universe. They're only going to give you what is for the highest good of yourself and everyone involved. So, but what is really going to make you feel good as an outcome of this whole situation, right? It keeps bringing me back to having ill wishes for another person, or because you're angry about the way you were treated in a certain situation. And they're saying, you can pray for balance. You can pray for the relief of your frustrations. You can pray for, and remember, prayer is loose as well. It can be however you communicate and ask for help and support from your divine team or the divine in general. You can ask to be free from anything that obscures your light. It could be that simple. If you don't know exactly what to ask for, being kind of big picture neutral is the way to get it. It helps you filter and define and refine your requests. And sometimes being general is the best, because they could be thinking of things that you haven't even thought of. And when you finally get that blessing and that opportunity, you're like, whoa, I never thought that would happen. Right? Because you don't limit what it should be, what it should look like, what it should feel like. You just know that you want to shine and all resistance to your shining to be gone. The Magician in reverse. Be very careful about what you are manifesting. Be very careful about what you're trying to manifest. You are capable and are manifesting. So be aware of what's in your vibration, and also be aware, don't get angry with yourself for what you have done or have not done. Compassion all around. This is interesting, the Tower in this position, because I just get this whole vibe from this side that there will come a revelation that will rock you to your foundation. Hey, that rhymed. And they want you to allow that to be the case. They say that you may feel discomfort because you're shaking loose of this limiting ego. You're shaking loose of some limiting beliefs, but you've been inside of the limiting beliefs so long that you've been comfortable there. And that is all right. Once again, it's about compassion and not being hard on yourself, because this is part of your journey. And this is what we're going to look at right now. I'm pulling from the Light Seers Tarot. Oh, was that turned over too? Should that go there? Okay. the Light Seers Tarot. And, this is a general reading, so I'm just getting a overview of what you guys may have in your soul's purpose. And what is deeper in your process of remembering. So this, of course, will be, not detailed, but a general application of what the Aquarius North Node Collective, who's watching this video, has in their soul purpose for this lifetime. So we have in the first corner here, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Wands. Okay, so I have that one of the things that is happening to you, and repeatedly, that you may feel stagnated, and you'll have situations in this lifetime that seem to block your creative force, or it feels like there's no room for your fire. Because look, these are both wands, these are fire, and you have the sacral chakra hiding underneath here, this orange that's peeking out. So you came in with a lot of creative energy. You've encountered a lot of blocks to that creativity that was probably first external, but became internalized over time because you kept meeting the same types of situations, right? This is the energy, those barriers is exactly what you're learning how to transmute time and time again when you embrace the Empress, which is, and once again, see, she's pregnant, creative power, bringing the intangible into tangible, bringing ideas into reality, bringing thoughts into form. This is your second Empress, right? Yeah. Empress again. So and the Chariot. So part of your soul's purpose is to trust in these divine inspirations, because it is the trust. You see, the Chariot is being led with, like, he's not holding on to the horses. It's almost like he's just along for the ride, right? Is letting the Chariot take you letting the divine take you where it needs to take you, and where it wants to take you, or where you're meant to be taken, where you're meant to be, and knowing that you and your creations, in whatever form they may come, are worthy of a platform, of an audience, of recognition, of developing completely of being birthed into the world, right? Because I'm getting the energy that a lot of ideas, they start and then they stop and they get stuck. The Four of Pentacles. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of situations where you feel like people are taking from you. And so you'll feel the need to protect that which you hold dear, or that you feel are your most valuable assets. They're telling me that these ideas, they come in abundance, so you don't need to do that, but this is part of what you knew, what is natural to happen given what you've experienced, this lack of recognition and people taking things for granted. You feel protective. And then the Ace of Swords in reverse is, you start to doubt your own intuition. You start to doubt your own awesome ideas, and you start to doubt your own creativity. Now, as I said, this is general, so we're looking at a big overview of what the soul's purpose is for you guys. And we don't want to say, okay, you came here to be blocked, right? But that is a challenge that you are learning, that you came to learn how to overcome. And you know how to overcome it. All of the answers are inside you, and all of the answers are in your higher self, your divine self, and the divine that is assisting you and supporting you in your life. That is why, because this is so common in your vibration, or it's a challenge that you signed up to deal with. That is why prayers come up, because it's a direct, you're hypnotizing basically your mind and reprogramming your mind when you say things repetitively, right? We have a lot of repetitive thoughts in our head that we don't say aloud. So we counteract that by saying things, by making our affirmations aloud, and listening to that music and those songs that we sing along, because when we add the vibration of the musical tones to the words, then it's even more powerful. That is why that's one of your tools. The violet flame is one of your tools. The prayers are one of your tools. Music is one of your tools. And bolstering your sense of I am worthy, and all of my impulses and creativity is worthy of being heard, seen, and appreciated. That is something you have to keep reminding yourself of. So May is going to bring you into this place where you recognize that this has kind of been where these cycles have happened in your life, and you're going to start to recognize. I love how they keep giving me the word recognize to recognition. You're going to start to create tools to deal with that. You and your divine team in cooperation are going to create tools for you to deal with this ongoing cycle that you get in, so that you can free your creativity, so that you can free yourself from that cycle. Because, you're not going through that cycle because you did something wrong, right? You're meant to overcome, you're meant to prosper and come out of that cycle a more knowledgeable and wise being. So your whole team is like, yeah, we're all in this with the same goal of succeeding. So let's get down to it. I'm pulling your final oracles. I grabbed a card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. It's going to focus. Yeah, by Stacey DeMarco. And the card we got here is Resistance. Quite interesting. I wouldn't have expected that one. So I'm just going to read directly from the guidebook and see how it correlates. 25. Familiarize yourself with how resistance manifests for you, the overt and the covert. If you continue to have doors slammed in your face, turn around. There will normally be an open door. Procrastination is just another kind of fear. Move forward with confidence and persistence. And there's an affirmation. I flow through resistance and I am in control. There are two kinds of resistance. The first type we encounter when we keep getting obstacles placed in our way or our way is blocked. For example, we try to get a particular job in a particular field, but no matter what we do, it doesn't happen. This is external or overt resistance. Covert resistance, which occurs when we say we really want to do or complete something but feel resistance not to, is somewhat sneakier. All forms of procrastination fit in here, writer's block being a classic example. When we want to do something but get distracted and don't do it, or we just can't seem to engage our will enough, that is covert resistance. When we want to get rid of a bad habit, an addiction, an old pattern, in fact, anything we are thinking of releasing for the dark moon, and feel resistance in doing so, we have a big dose of covert resistance. We must battle the second kind of resistance like we would battle a crafty and terrible enemy. We must raise our shields and sharpen our swords and have a strategy to remove the resistance. In fact, we must flow through it. It's a battle we might have to fight more than once, but we will be resilient and vigilant and fight it. We will. For when we win, and we will win, the rewards are great. Why do we resist the things we say we want? Sometimes we don't really want those things. Most times, though, we are frightened about what might happen if we do get what we have asked for. What will people think? Will we lose our friends and family if we rise? Will it all be for nothing if we try and fail? But we must be willful, and we must have courage. We must repeat to ourselves, this is what I really want for me. Yes, I am worth it. And then we stand up straight, put on our crown of sovereignty of our own lives, and go to battle. And the companion stone or metal is red jasper. So yeah, that was, do I need to say anything else? That was completely perfect for this spread that we had today and the conversation we had today. I love that they said sharpen your sword because the Ace of Swords is here in the reverse. And it made more than one mention of using like affirmations. So final two cards I'm going to pull is messages from the guides deck by James DeProg. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's a good deck. I know that much. Sorry, just trying to get that there. Okay, they're giving you 3 cards. I guess your guides really know that you need support right now. So, first one is your beliefs are right for you. Then we have you are here for a reason. And focus on the positive. I'm going to put that here. So I'll just let that resonate how it resonates with you. And in the context of the rest of the reading, I feel like, there's something very unique about you that needs to come out. And your team is ready to help you do that in the month of May. So, Aquarius North Node, it was a pleasure as always, and I hope this reading resonated with you. In the meantime, in between North Node readings, you can check out my monthly feature, Grounding into Gaia. Those are timeless readings with channeled messages from the Earth consciousness. And otherwise, I will see you next time. I hope you have a great month. Take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.